Another Friday.
Another Friday, yeah.
Yay,
awesome.
Friday.
Yeah. Sun's out here. It's beautiful.
The sun's always out here.
Yeah, I know. It never rains in California.
Just at 6:30 in the morning.
Is the sun up yet? No.
Yeah.
It is. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so this week we got a lot to talk about. First, you want to talk about the new wall plate access point. You have like something that looks like it there. ECW215, right?
Yep, ECW215. It's a cloud managed access point. It's a Wi-Fi 6 2x2 access point. That's what everybody wants right now.
Yeah.
We'll have them at the beginning of end of May, I think, beginning of June. But this thing, it actually comes with several new features, like key features for like in-room Wi-Fi. That's
nice.
really what this thing's for, right? In-room Wi-Fi. So
yes.
like a hotel room, student housing, or like dormitory. We do have some Pro AV guys that use the wall plates because it's really clean and it mounts to the wall. But more so with like hotels, resorts. But yeah, it comes with some really key features, I would say, for that industry.
Mm-hmm.
One is MyPSK, which, MyPSK basic, I'll just give you a basic example of that. Like, every user can have their own pre-shared key or password, basically,
mm-hmm.
right? And that pre-shared key can be eventually tied to its own VLAN. And that would happen like in, more so like in student housing, where the residents are like, they're not permanent, but they're permanent, a little more permanent than like a hotel where it's like a day, 2 days, where they're like there for like a semester or something like that.
And you can set that MyPSK expiration wherever you want. So if it's a hotel, you can set it for their stay. If it's a school,
but like it would be better for a student housing situation.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now you would have guest services in like in a hotel. So MyPSK can be used on this particular device, and that would be more student housing, I would say.
Yeah.
There's another feature that will be it was created for this device is called SmartCast, and it gives the system integrator the ability to install like this wall plate into like a hotel room. And the guests coming in, they can actually share their content to the TV really easily through what we call a SmartCast through this device.
Yep.
Or actually through all of our access points.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason we created it is for this. But it will go on ceiling mount access points too. It will work there. But what SmartCast is that like hotel rooms are trying to eliminate the TV box basically, and they're trying to minimize the cost per room. And so one way of doing that is allowing casting within the room. So you go into your room, rather than logging into like or using their TV services, you can now mirror or cast your phone, like your Netflix, to the TV.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do that through an SSID.
Mm-hmm.
So you log into the network, you cast to the TV. The TV will give you a QR code. You can just snap a picture of the QR code on the TV, and now you can cast directly to the TV that's in your room.
Mm.
And it's set up in a way where like you can't cast to the other TVs within the hotel. You can only cast to the one that's within your room. So it's called SmartCast, and some hotels are mandating that you have casting ability in their hotel. So that's something that's added to this. It's a really, really easy setup.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it's using MDNS to forward the traffic from one SSID to another SSID. So you can create an SSID and have all those Chromecasting devices like a smart TV connected to that SmartCast SSID.
Got it. So is this live right now, or is this feature?
This is coming. Actually, it could be live today. I would have to check.
All right, we'll check it out, and I'll demo it for next time.
Yeah.
We'll check it out, see exactly how it works.
And then the third feature I would talk about really quick, I know I'm tying up a little bit of time on this one, but
okay.
You'll notice there's multiple ports. There's a port on the back, and there's 2 ports on the bottom. The port on the back is traditionally used to power up the device. It's PoE+.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have 2 ports on the bottom, right? It basically acts as a 2-port switch.
Mm-hmm.
You can VLAN them and whatever, trunk them or whatever. One of the ports can pass PoE, so you can power up a voice over IP phone. But now there's a new feature that we have where, when you create SSIDs, and SSID is a broadcast name and it's for the Wi-Fi, you can apply those settings to the ports.
Mm-hmm.
More specifically, it's the captive portal or the splash page. So if I'm in a room and I'm using Wi-Fi, but I have a device I want to plug into the port, the journey that customer goes through is similar to what they would do if they went through wireless. So they would plug in, they would be redirected to a captive portal or a splash page,
mm-hmm.
and they would accept agreements from like Marriott or whoever, and so the experience is the same through the port as well as through the Wi-Fi. So that's another feature that's coming out. So you'll be able to apply SSID configurations to the ports now on this particular device.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So those are 3 I would mention, along with it being Wi-Fi 6, and you should not be installing Wi-Fi 5.
Yeah, it's nice. That'll be one of the first Wi-Fi 6 devices available, I think, wall plate access points. And there is also a trim plate, so you can just desk mount that or just set it on the desk, too, if you wanted to.
Yeah, you could actually put it on the ceiling or on the wall, too.
Yeah, so it's pretty flexible. You don't need to mount it in a junction box. But that's what it's designed for. And we have the setup, the MSRP is $199, which is pretty low for something like that.
Yeah. That's MSRP price.
MSRP will be lower. Ask me for a quote, I'll send you one for even better price. All right, that's cool. Also, I saw Ruckus introduced their new Wi-Fi 6E access point this week, the R760. I don't have too much on it yet. Is
that a 4x4, 8x8, or?
It's a 4x4. So we don't have too much info on it yet. It hasn't been set up.
What kind of Ethernet port on there? Do you know?
I think it has 2.5 and 5.
So it's auto sensing?
Yeah, 2.5, 5, and 1. But I don't have specs on it yet. They just talked about it that it's coming out within the next few months. So
and we went right to 5 gigahertz on the port.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
With our testing, I mean, we talked about you should get this unit fairly soon.
Yeah, you're 60. That's the ECW336.
336.
336. Yeah. So that's coming. We'll be testing that next week.
Yeah.
We
were seeing gigabit Wi-Fi.
Nice.
So we talked about that last time.
Yeah. All right. So then I wanted to talk about a new feature that we kind of hit on, I think, before, but it just came live this week. The packet capture on the Switch, which I tested out this week, and I made a video with it. I'll put that here. Basically,
it's a good video too. It's short, right to the point.
Yeah, I did a short video on it. I showed exactly how to do it. But what it is, it's a distributed packet capture or network sniffer on every single EnGenius Cloud switch. And you just select the port, you select the duration for the capture, and you can even put a capture filter in there, so you're not, grabbing a bunch of data, right? Because this is remote. So you can set the capture filter, and then it downloads a PCAP file right into your browser. And you can open that with Wireshark, so I'll show that here, showing all my network info. But so what I did is I captured on the port my IP phone is on, and I was able to decode the SIP traffic with Wireshark and actually listen to the audio. So you could actually record a IP phone call if you wanted to, but it's mostly used for troubleshooting network issues, and now it's just like another tool that we can use, right? So if somebody's having a problem, even if they're not a network expert, you can just download that packet capture remotely and send to someone who is, to see exactly what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. And that was the whole purpose, right? So sometimes we'll run into these weird problems, and one of the big things, and you can check me on this, is that when you have a random issue, you need to it's tough to capture the problem, or it's hard to be on the phone when the problem is actually happening, right? So if it's like a voice over IP problem with a phone or something, and there's a customer that's actually, having this issue, they can just simply run this packet capture while it's happening. Like
Yeah.
maybe they couldn't get to like tech services or tech support or whatever. They can actually run it while it's occurring, because that's when you want to do the packet capture, right?
Right.
So they can run it for you, or you can run it. The customer can run it and just send you the file.
Yeah,
right.
It's pretty awesome. Like I don't know if I told you this, but when I first started out in networking, I would run around with like a sniffer and network general sniffer, which looked like an old laptop type port, not even a laptop, like a portable computer, the type that had the CRT with like a keyboard that like locked on the top of it or wherever you take off, and you'd have to plug into the switch ports. And I mean, people are still doing this. Yeah. They're doing it, with Wireshark on a laptop now, but you have to go into the closets and plug into the switch ports so you could span a port and monitor it, right?
Yeah.
This makes things way easier.
Yeah. So it's nice. So that's under switch diagnostics. So like in the cloud, you want to go to switches, and you can go to the specific switch, and then you can drill down to each switch, right? But you would just go to the diagnostics of that particular switch, and it's under there. So there's like the ARC tables, the MAC tables. There's ping trace route now. There's port level traffic that you can look at, and packet capturing. The port level traffic, capturing or seeing the CRC errors. That to me was a huge help.
Yeah.
Because we run in, like you and I run into layer 1 problems all the time.
Yeah.
And you have individuals that aren't willing to check everything.
Yeah.
The way you want them to check it.
The cable's good. The cable's good. Like, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and that way you can see there's something wrong with that cable. I'll even check it. Like I have some IP cameras that are, they have underground cable runs that I'm running, and I can see like if the cable is like acting up, right? So
and you can cable test too now.
Cable test for length and things like that. And so while I was using the packet capture, I thought about Wi-Fi security a little bit for public Wi-Fi hotspots. So this just shows that someone can capture your data, right? They can use Wireshark. They could use it on a public hotspot if it was open. You can set Wireshark to capture traffic, right?
Yeah, like a man-in-the-middle attack.
Yeah, exactly. So just a couple things on that. I mean, me personally, if I can, I use my hotspot on my phone. Like I'd rather do that. It's way easier, right? Like you have unlimited data. Yeah. If I'm out somewhere, I'll use the hotspot on the phone first. If that's not, if there's no signal, then I'll go to the public Wi-Fi. I recommend people do that. Don't just like jump on Wi-Fi because it's there and it's free. Use your phone first, then go to the public. And most things are encrypted now. Like if you go to your bank account, it's HTTPS, so they're not going to get anything out of that. It's encrypted unless, like you said, there's like maybe a man-in-the-middle attack, which I don't see happening a ton. I mean, possible. Someone that's bored at an airport could do something like that, I guess, but.
Any major like location, like a coffee shop, like a Starbucks or whatever.
I don't see it.
They could definitely throw up a fake,
They could, but
fake AP, right?
Yeah, they could, and you'll see people.
They could call it Starbucks free Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Dude, there are people out there that will go, okay, let me connect to that.
Exactly.
Because
but
it's free.
I still don't think that they can, spoof like traffic to your bank over HTTPS. They might be able to do it. I'm not sure about that, but I don't think so. Just make sure that if you don't need to do banking when you're on the public hotspot, don't do it, I guess. But things like
why you would go to like a local or a public Wi-Fi to do your banking.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
You know what I mean? Like
it's not what I would do, but but if you do, it's probably fine because it's all encrypted, except for like just make sure that your mail, like your pop mail, if it's not set to use TTLS encryption, then that's in the clear too, so they could get your mail password. That's what I'm most worried about. But that's only with like if you're using the mail client on your iPhone or on Windows, which no one really uses. If you're just going to Gmail, it's all encrypted HTTPS again, right? So that's all good.
Yeah, we get a lot of questions, not to turn the conversation to this, but I will. We get a lot of questions about how, like, the EnGenius cloud or just any cloud service, if it's secure or not.
Yeah.
And, for us, I can't say this for everybody, but, like, every single, like, access point and switch goes through, like, an authentication process. There's, like, a two-factor authentication process that it goes through, and all the data is encrypted. The information that we're actually grabbing is not personal information. We're grabbing, like, management data, like management information.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're changing the SSID configuration, like, I'm broadcasting on 2.4 and 5 and not 6, that's the information we're pulling.
Yeah.
Right? And that's encrypted. And even if it's sitting, when it's sitting on the servers, it's sitting encrypted as well. So, like, all that information is encrypted and
secure. And each device has its own certificate on it, and then as far as, like, access to your cloud account, you can enable 2FA, which you should. Everyone should, obviously.
Yeah.
The bigger.
That's painful, but yeah, you should.
Well, I mean, maybe not for small home networks or whatever, but any type of business, I would probably enable it. Just to be extra
we have
safe.
a lot of people that do enable TFA. But yeah, you're right. Yeah, each device gets its own key.
Yeah.
And then goes through this authentication process. So yeah, it's very secure. I still have customers like, well, what if, but,
yeah, I mean, and like you said, it's like outer band management. So it's only, it's only sending control data. It's not sending all your browsing data, right? So it's doing some analytic stuff on what type of traffic you're sending, but it's not like sending
it's
all your traffic.
High level.
Yeah.
It's very high level.
Yeah. But then brings up, you could use VPNs also. So, if you really need to be secure, like most businesses will use a VPN client on your iPhone, your laptop, and that secures everything end to end. Then you can go crazy on public Wi-Fi. It's not you're riding over the VPN. You just have to trust the people that are operating the VPN at that point.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
All right. Well, anything else you want to hit on this week?
No.
All right.
I don't think so.
All right. Sounds good. Well, I can't wait to get that Wi-Fi 6E access point. Did you send it out?
Very soon.
Did you send it?
Yeah. I said,
okay. So it'll be coming really soon. So next week, we'll be talking about Wi-Fi 6E testing. All right. Remember to like and subscribe for more help with Wi-Fi